Today I'm going to be changing out my exhaust, and I figured I'd just do a before and show the sound of how it fucking sounds before we put the exhaust on. This is the exhaust I'm going to be installing today. This is the Two Brothers Black Edition. It's the M2 VALE. And yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so what I need to do first is I need to take off this right side footrest and the right side fairing so that I can get access to the muffler. So I'm going to do that now. Next step is going to be to remove those mounting screws for the stock exhaust. So this and this bolt in here, those gotta go. I got those bolts off. Didn't realize how fucking wide the stock exhaust is. Jesus, look how long that fucking bolt is. It goes all the way across the bike. So next, I need to remove these bolts here on the fucking intake. So that's next. Alright, once I've loosened those bolts, just can slide the exhaust right out, and you see it freaking drop right down here. So I might have damaged it a little bit because it came out a little quicker than I was expecting, but there you go. So I'm just going to pull this exhaust out and position the new one in there. Next step is to attach this mounting bracket right here. And this is going to slide in right here. So I'm going to put a bolt in right there, another bolt, and another bolt in there. So I'm going to cinch that down, and then we go on to the next step. Alright, next part is to assemble the exhaust. So it wants me to put this cap here on the end, and that's connected by these little brackets right here. So this kind of just slips on there, and these kind of hold that on together. So I'm going to do that. Alright, now I got that all assembled. One tip would be to make sure that you leave these bolts loose so that you're able to spin the canister, just so that once you put it on the bike you can make adjustments and realign it as needed. Alright, also at this point you're going to want to take this little rubber flange. This is going to be how it mounts to that bracket you just put on, so we're just going to put this right around here. So we just want to slide this little gasket thing right on here. That's what we're going to use to mount it right to that clamp that we put on before. Alright, instructions at this point say to reinstall this foot peg side, but I think it probably makes a lot more sense just to put the exhaust in place at this point. So I've got this under on the bracket, and I'm going to attach these up to the intakes right now. Alright, now I got those bolts. They're pretty snug. I'll tighten them once I've got everything in place. Now I just need to adjust the barrel here, the canister, make sure it's not fucking rubbing on the tire. It's really close there. And I've got to put this right foot peg assembly here. I'm going to reattach that and make sure that the little canister here doesn't fucking rub onto anything, because it really is close. I think it's probably hitting the tire right now. I just have it sitting there in place, but I'm going to fucking adjust it until it fits. Alright, well that was much more painful than I thought it was going to be. So now I have some clearance there. It's not too much, I guess, but it's going to be enough for what I've done. I've checked to make sure that brake isn't going to hit it. The hardest part here was that fucking bolt right there. I hope you can see that, but oh my god, was that a fucking pain in the balls to squeeze this clamp and try to get the nut and bolt on there. Oh, what a pain that was. Our next step is going to be to just tighten things up. So I'm going to tighten up this bracket here. I'm going to tighten up the front intakes and just make sure it's all secure. Alright, I've got that all tightened up. Another tip at this point would be to make sure that you wipe it down clean and get all the fingerprints that you might have off of the canister and the rest of the system. If you've got any fingerprints, you know, they might burn into the finish, so you don't want that. So wipe it down good, and at this point I think I just need to put my fairing back on and we're good to go. Alright, last step before finishing. I've got my fairing on, but I noticed that there was an extra part, and that's for an O2 sensor that you can have connected to this. This is a US model and I don't have a power commander. I don't need it, so I'm just going to use this little cap here to block it off, and I'll just screw that on. I probably should have done that before putting the bike up, but I didn't. Oops, because it's not really in the instructions. Now I've got this installed, everything's ready to go, so I'm going to fire this up for the first time. Let's see how fucking this sounds now. Well, that's certainly going to fucking piss off my neighbors, something fierce, so I'll wait and test that out some more later, but goddamn is that loud, and this fucking doesn't do it justice, I'm sure, but that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. Alright, first ride with a new exhaust. Let's see how this sounds. Stay on your side of the road, motherfucker.